Republicans across the country seemed really worried about these results, especially because but just how much President Trump won in 2024, paired with this area. It's Tarrant County, Fort Worth, as well as some suburbs, just how red that area is. President Trump, though, he distanced himself. He did endorse Mom's Guns, but when asked about her loss, he said that he wasn't involved in that. That's a Texas local race. He also added, "I'm not on the ballot." Various Texas Republicans called this a wake-up call, not only for their party in Texas, but nationwide. And across the country, Republicans weighed in on this race as well. This is what Florida Governor Ron DeSantis said. "Special elections are quirky and not necessarily projectable, are a general election. That said, a swing of this magnitude is not something that can be dismissed. Republicans should be clear-eyed about the political environment heading into the midterms." Former White House Press Secretary Sean Spicer called this a big deal. I mean, the list can just go on. What do you make as a Democrat here of Republicans nationwide sounding the alarm on this race?
Let's make very clear what they're scared of right now. They're not scared of making sure they aren't able to deliver on their agenda necessarily. What they're scared of is that they have spent the last 10 years basically French kissing Donald Trump's ass. Okay. And now they don't have any way to separate themselves from a guy who was just listed 35,000 times in the Epstein file release, and it hasn't even breached close to having all of them out yet. There is no air separation between themselves and Donald Trump anymore because they have worked for him for a decade and not for you. Whenever we were trying to deliver relief for flood victims in Texas this summer, they were doing the work of Donald Trump to redraw political districts. I mean, every step of the way, when we, average people, have needed help, Republicans have said, let me call and check with Donald Trump to see if that's okay. So what they're scared of is accountability. What they're scared of is people waking up and realizing that they were never working for you. They were always working for themselves. They were always working for Donald Trump. And there's no way for them to try to obfuscate that moving forward because you can't get any closer than what they've had. That's what they're scared of, okay? They're not scared of anything other than their own accountability.
As someone who lives in Texas, talk to us a little bit about Tarrant County here. I mean, just what exactly does this win mean? Because I listed a bunch of different statistics. I mean, there hasn't been a Democrat in the state Senate here in decades. This is huge. It's been called a political earthquake. What exactly does that mean, A? And B, as a Democrat here, what do you think Democrats can apply here nationwide?
Yeah. For folks who aren't familiar, Tarrant County is the largest red county in the country. There is not a single Democrat elected countywide in Tarrant County. And this district is entirely within Tarrant County, but drawn Republican. So drawn to protect Republican interests within the county that we just described. And so that is why this is such a big deal. I think what it means is that Democrats need to stop pretending like previous elections or polls vote. They don't. We do. And it's time to start empowering people to take control of their government again because it's run amok against all of us and all of our best interests. And that's the message that I'm learning is that it doesn't matter that this was a Republican district. We called every voter in this district 4 to 5 times whether they were Democrats or Republicans. That was what our coordinated effort called Blue Texas that we do in partnership with the Texas Majority PAC did in this election. We made 20,000 door knocks. We made 1.5 million phone calls into the district. And we didn't care if you were a Democrat or a Republican. We were here to talk to you about the future of your community and what we could do to help move the ball forward. That's the lesson that Democrats need to learn. A bunch of consultants in your capital city aren't going to buy your way out of this problem. Get out into the field, shake people's hands, look them in the eye, tell them what you stand for, and ask for their vote.
To that point, and like I said, when I quoted Taylor Ramett, he said this isn't red versus blue, this is right versus wrong. Do you think it would behoove Democrats to kind of move away from party identity and say, hey, even if you're a Republican, there's still room for you over here?
Look, I'm the chairman of the Texas Democratic Party, and I am a very firm Democrat. I would arguably be one of the most partisan people in Texas, right? But what I will also say is that every person is welcome at our table as long as you respect everybody at our table. We're moving forward to build a coalition of working class people to take the government back. If you remember the Democratic Party of the past, that used to be what defined it. I grew up in a farm family in East Texas where everyone were Democrats at the time, and they aren't anymore. And I think the Democrats became a party protecting institutions and stopped becoming the party of the little guy. And I'm here to bring that back to the party. I think a lot of our leaders are. We are a party that will take on whatever billionaire, whatever banker, whatever bootlicking bastard we have to make sure the little guy gets his seat at the table. You see, those that are watching, the poster on my wall, Ralph Yarborough. He was a legendary Texas senator who campaigned with the slogan that we're putting the jam on the bottom shelf so the little people can reach it. And that to me is who we are as a party. And if that means that Republicans don't see themselves reflected in the Republican Party anymore, they're welcome over here with us because we're doing the work of the little guy, and everyone who respects everyone at the table is welcome at it.